Hey guys, what's up? Are you hungry? Look at these delicious Italian style mortadella and provolone cheese scones that I just pulled out of the oven. They are so good. Like, look at this. Look at the beauty. They're still hot. Look at that. Look at the cheese. Look at the deliciousness. Come on, you guys. Forget about it. Okay. So we'll just take, like, look at this. Oh my God, this is gonna be so good. Hot. It's so good. Come along with me and learn how to make these so you can eat them as well because they're delicious. Okay, I'll see you. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get these mortadella and provolone Italian scones my way. Let's get them ready. So also, just to point out, I have my Mastro San Daniela mortadella la 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 apron on. If you're Italian or a foodie, you know what mortadella is, and if you don't, shame on you. So here, let's get started. I'm just show you really quick. So in this bowl, I have 3 cups of flour. I put 2 cups of all-purpose and 1 cup of whole wheat. You don't have to do that. I like to do it just because I like the texture and how my scones turn out. I have 1 stick of frozen butter that I grated by hand. I have 2 eggs in this bowl that I'm going to be using later. So 3 cups of flour, and then there's approximately like half a teaspoon of sea salt. I have 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and I also, for sugar, I use coconut sugar. And that's, honestly, you guys, I just kind of eyeball it. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe like less than 1/3 of a cup or 1/4 of a cup. I don't know. But anyways, this I also love to add to all my scones. It gives it like a healthy dose of goodness. You know, they're so delicious, so we got to put some sort of good things in it. And then, so the eggs, and then I have a bit of flour in my measuring cup for dusting the countertop. I have my egg wash ready to brush on top of the scones before they go in. So it's an egg, and then I just put in some oat milk, or you can use whatever you have. It doesn't matter. And then here, yeah, the demerara sugar to sprinkle on top. And then I have Italian mortadella that is cut up really, really small, like cubes, super, super small, you guys. It's frozen. You have to freeze these ingredients when you're making scones. Scones turn out best when everything is super cold. This is diced up provolone cheese. I believe this one is Galbani. And then this is grated Italian provolone cheese that I'm also going to add. So yes, so let's get started. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today, wherever you are. And thank you for being patient with me with this. I have this stabilizer that I got to help do my videos. So hopefully everyone is okay with the technological difficulties that I have sometimes, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll just beat up these eggs. And when I'm making my scones, I try to keep like all the liquidy kind of ingredients together. They'll all get like whisked together. So later we will add the buttermilk to this. And again, I usually eyeball everything. I don't know. So you make it however you like. This is the important thing. Use what you have and use things that you like. So let's get the frozen butter inside. Yeah, it's super important that you're using very cold ingredients when you're making scones. This is the problem people have. They try to make scones and then they don't turn out, and you know, they just flop or whatever. So yeah, super cold is important. And then we'll just give it a mix in the bowl. Also in this bowl, you guys, I have some dry basil and dry oregano to add with the Italian flavors. So yeah, just combine that. And then we're going to add in the frozen mortadella. And again, I just like, I don't know, it's like maybe more than a cup. It just depends how much falls out of the bag when I put it in. So, but I'll just show you too. So they're like, it's a little labor intensive, but it's okay. So you need like tiny, tiny little pieces like this, okay? And frozen to add. So I have the mortadella inside. I might add some later once we get all the ingredients in. Then I do a visual check to see if I like how the flavors are looking so far, like for adding enough of whatever. So in goes the cubed provolone cheese, and again, tiny, tiny, you guys. So yeah, so that's gonna go in, and then the grated as well. So there is salt in the dough, so like this flour mixture that I pointed out to you guys, it's like the master recipe. You can add anything that you want. You just have to be mindful of how much salt and or sugar you're adding, depending on the recipe, if you're making a sweet or savory dish. Okay, so let's give this all a stir. And yeah, nothing crazy, just stir it up. So here I'm looking, as I'm folding it around, I'm looking at how much mortadella is in here, how much cheese, should I add more, like how it's looking. So you just use your own discretion, discernment, and knowledge on how you like things. So I am gonna add a bit more of the cubed mortadella to this because it's yummy. So yeah, so what I was saying is, one wouldn't want to add too much salt to the flour mixture because all of these ingredients, the mortadella, the provolone cheese, everything is salty already by itself. So in this case, I will tell you, I did add a bit of extra coconut sugar just to give it that beautiful salt and sweet kind of balance. So I'm going to put these ingredients back in the freezer. So this is ready to go. What we're gonna do now is add a little bit of buttermilk. I need buttermilk for making scones. I know that there's other ways to make them, but this is how I like them and they turn out really good. So I'm not gonna change it. So adding approximately, you guys, like half a cup. And I'm going to, I'll tell you right away, as soon as I get this in, I'll probably have to add more. Oven is preheated, it just went off. It's at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Once these are done, they're gonna cook for 18 to 20 minutes, more like 20 minutes. Sometimes, depending on what kind of scones you're using, you might do 20 to 22 minutes. So let's grab the liquid, add it inside to the dry ingredients. Make sure you scrape everything out. I always get a little frustrated when I watch other people cooking and they have all these ingredients in their bowl and then they just dump it out and there's a whole bunch wasted and not left to go into what they're making. So don't waste. Make sure you're taking your time and putting everything you're supposed to put into your recipe. So here we're just going to use a spatula, you could use a wooden spoon, and we're going to fold in the liquid ingredients. And as you can see, it's pretty dry still. So this is where I'm going to add more buttermilk to the batter, and then stir it around again. Everything in here is really cold. Like if you feel the outside of this bowl, it's cold to touch. You don't want to be using your hands. If you can, like, avoid doing that, because your hands have warmth and it's going to warm up. The butter, the cheese, the mortadella, everything that's in here, that is cold. So I will just keep on mixing this up until it's about ready. And you don't want to overmix either. I know it gets like a little scary. It's not that complicated, I promise you guys. It's just a matter of doing it a few times, and then you get like to know the look and feel of when it's done. So I'm gonna add just a smidgen more, and make sure your countertop, your work surface is clean, because we'll be pouring this out to form our scones. So just scraping, no vigorous mixing, just folding, tossing everything. Okay. All right. At the very end, if you need to, you can use your hands. Obviously, you're going to be using your hands, so let's just incorporate this last little bit. So this is what I mean, like, these ingredients are very dry. I found that when I make like scones, usually sweet ones that have fruit and this kind of thing in it, like, because fruit has lots of moisture, and you'll notice that you'll have to take that into consideration with your cooking as well, because the more moisture, then you might not get as much lift and this kind of thing. So, okay, so let's take our reserve flour and pour it on our work surface, and then we're going to, here, let's see if I can put this down here so you guys can see better what I'm doing. Okay, so hand is going in. I'm just going to give it like a really quick sloosh around, and to just get a general feel that I like the consistency, that I feel that there's a sufficient amount of moisture. Okay, so then just dump this whole thing out, oops, onto your counter. I know it looks like a mess, but trust, okay? It's all good. And then I hope you guys can see okay. So form it, don't handle it like too much. There's no kneading, there's no super mixing when you have it out of the bowl. Just form it into the shape that you're going to use to cut. I just use like a bench scraper to form the scones. You could use a cookie cutter if you wanted to shape it into whatever shape you want. They even have now, I've seen in some stores, they have scone mold pans, like if you really had to, but this is my favorite way. This is my favorite shape, the classic kind of triangle shape. So I'm just gonna, so if you see, you guys, I'm just forming it, like pushing it, compressing it into a log of sorts. Okay. And then you have your cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. Here's my trusty bench scraper cutter thing. So then I use this at the end as well, because I like nice lines and nothing, there's no, you know, don't worry about it's not perfect or anything like that, okay? And then the reason I kind of smack it down a bit is just to compress it a little bit more. Okay, so this is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bench scraper. I'm going to cut and be, you know, intentional with your going down, okay? No, don't hesitate, because you hesitate and then it starts to get raggedy and stuff, your filling starts falling out. Okay, so we've cut it once, we're gonna cut it again and again. So this is how you get that beautiful classic scone look. And then it's gonna go straight onto your baking sheet lined with the parchment paper. Okay, so just arrange them a little bit apart. I mean, there's cheese and goodness inside that's probably gonna melt. And they do grow a little. And even now, as I'm touching this, you guys, this dough is still really, like, it's nice and cold. So again, so with intention, no hesitation. See, look, here on the side, I messed it up a little bit. Oops. It's okay though. It's all good. Okay, so I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm still learning how this is working, this stabilizer. Okay. Okay, so again, so cut and then rotate it, cut on an angle so you get the nice shape. All right, so I am going to finish up cutting up the scones and placing them on the baking tray, and then I will put them in the oven. They'll bake for approximately 20 minutes, and then I will come back and see you, okay? Okay, so before they go in, I'm not sure if you remember on my last scone video, I forgot to put the egg wash on. So we need to egg wash these before they go in, of course, you guys. And yeah. So just nice and gentle, you know, like you're painting a picture. You don't need to rush. Just be present in what you're doing. You know, give your love. And then your food turns out even tastier, right? So we get the egg wash on. And also, you guys, tomorrow, April 1st, is full moon. It's April 1st, and is known as the pink moon. So hopefully I will be on later to pull a card for you guys, because I love doing that. It's a big part of who I am and everything. So, okay. And then the demerara sugar. So I realize these are savory, but don't miss this step, you guys. This gives it that delicious, like, sweet and like salty kind of, like, it's not overly sweet. It's just like, yeah. And you don't have to use demerara sugar. You can use anything you want. There's all sorts of different finishing sugars that you can purchase. So, and then when I'm doing other flavors of scones, instead of the demerara sugar, I would add like some flaky sea salt or something like that. Okay, so now these are ready to go in the oven. I will put them in the oven and then I'll see you back here. Mwah! Okay, you guys, it's time to take these delicious Italian Mortadella Provolone scones out of the oven. So so excited. They come out so good. Like, look at these beauties. My God, so good, you guys. Okay, close this up. Like, look at this. How can these not be delicious, right? Look at the cheese oozing. They're super, super hot. So we'll just let them sit, like rest on this parchment paper for a few minutes. And then After that, I will transfer them onto some metal wire, like drying rack, like cookie racks kind of thing, so that they'll cool down a bit. So yeah, thank you so much for being here with me. I had a fun time doing this with you. I hope you all are doing wonderful, and I appreciate you being here. I love you all so much. Have a great rest of your day. Mwah.